Over the last couple of months, the world of investing and the stock markets have been on an absolutely crazy ride. And after Trump announced sweeping tariffs on the 2nd of April this year, impacting global trade, we saw large declines in the stock markets in the US, Europe, and Asia. Since then, stock markets have staged a big recovery to reach new all-time highs. However, with the tariff pause coming to an end at the beginning of August, are we going to see another stock market pullback? In this video, I'll be exploring this exact question, and I'll cover when to invest, what to invest in, and how to navigate investing in 2025 to make lots of money during market volatility. So let's start with what's happened in the financial markets so far this year. In the US, for the S&P 500, we've seen a decline by 18.9% from the 19th of February, which was the previous high point, and then a recovery back to reach new all-time highs. We also saw similar declines and bounces back in the major stock markets in Europe and Asia too. What the S&P 500 experienced is called a market correction, which is a drop of between 10% and 20%, and these are very common. It's happened in 47% of years since 1980. Although Trump's tariffs may have been a shock, we've seen much larger stock market crashes in the past. We had a 49% decline from the dot-com bubble burst between 2000 and 2002, a 57% decline from the 2008 and 2009 global financial crisis, and a 34% decline from the COVID pandemic. We need to be comfortable when investing that market corrections and even bear markets and crashes are common and all part of the normal life cycle of the stock market. So given the stock market reaching new all-time highs and the uncertainty ahead, is now the right time to buy? Well, there's some key data points that we need to see in the second half of 2025 that will impact the direction that the stock market goes in. For example, what happens to GDP figures? Are the economies in the US, Europe, and Asia growing or heading into a recession? Is inflation increasing or decreasing, and are central banks such as the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England making decisions to cut interest rates? And then ultimately how all of this impacts corporate company earnings. So as you can see, there are a lot of different factors which could either create good or bad news stories and will impact the direction that the stock market goes in. That's why it's so hard to predict in the short term. But with investing, you need to step back. Despite all the market dips and crashes we've seen across history, the S&P 500 has still delivered an average annual return of 10.2% since 1957. With all the noise and uncertainty happening right now, instead of sitting on the sidelines trying to time the market, it's better to keep consistently investing to capture the market returns. That way, you average out whether the market falls again later in 2025 or whether it continues to go up. Vanguard did a study that found that the chances of you underperforming the stock market returns if you switch to cash for 3 months is 61%, for 6 months is 72%, and for 12 months it's 79%. Vanguard also found that the best and worst trading days happen close together. 13 of the 20 best trading days occurred in years with negative returns. So if you're out of the stock market sitting on the sidelines, then you're going to miss out on these gains. So we've hit the halfway point in the video, and in the final part I'll cover the investment principles that I use. If you're finding the video helpful, please subscribe to my channel as I'm just starting out, and I really appreciate your support. Alright, let's get going with the video and talk about the investment principles that I use. When considering what to buy, I normally view buying individual company stocks with a shorter time horizon to manage risk. Tech stocks like Nvidia and Palantir have seen enormous growth recently, but history has shown us that doesn't always last. Cisco is a very relevant example of this. Between January 1995 and March 2000, Cisco's share price went from $2 to $79, making it the largest company on the planet. But when the dot-com bubble burst, Cisco's shares fell by 89%. When buying individual company shares, you can get huge reward, but you also take on higher risk too. What if a competitor comes along and offers more value to customers so they switch to them, or the management team commits fraud, like in the example of the collapse of Enron? If we look at the top 10 companies on the S&P 500 back in 2000, out of all the companies, only Microsoft were also in the top 10 in 2024. So knowing which company is the right one and is going to grow over the next 5, 10, 20 years is a really hard thing to do. Investing in index funds enables you to do this as, although companies change over time, the biggest stocks are part of the index funds. By buying an index fund, you buy a diverse mix of companies which dilutes your risk. I personally have 40% of my portfolio in lower risk index funds with steady long-term growth as the goal, and then I have 60% of my portfolio in higher risk assets such as individual tech stocks and mainstream cryptocurrencies which have the potential for much larger growth. I've weighted my investment portfolio this way as I still have 20 plus years until retirement, so I can afford to have more exposure to higher risk assets. Regardless of what I'm buying, I use the dollar cost average investment approach. If you're not familiar with the concept, it's simply a fixed budget that you set to invest every week or month, and then consistently investing that into the stocks you've previously picked, no matter the price or stage in the stock market cycle. If you want to see what I invest in, check out my recent video on the top tech stocks that I'm buying right now. It goes without saying. Make sure you research your investments so you understand what you're getting. This video is not investment advice. It's for educational purposes to help you on your investment journey. So that wraps up how to navigate 2025. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel, give the video a like, and I'll see you on the next video.